Hey everybody, welcome back. Beautiful day down here in Hamilton basement. Um, so day two, we're talking about circles. Yesterday we talked about how to find the equation of a circle in standard form. There are two pieces that we need, very important. Piece number one is the center. Piece number two is the radius. So today, guys, all I want us to do is just elaborate on that a little bit. We are going to continue to use that. We're going to continue to use standard form. And our focus today is to continue to find equations. The deal with today, though, is we're going to need to use a equation from our past, the distance formula. Because sometimes we have radius or a circle that its radius maybe isn't a whole number. And so that means that there's points that we can't find the radius by just looking at the graph. So we have to use another piece of information from our past. It's called the distance formula. So I just want to review that quickly with you guys. Distance formula from our past basically is about us taking 2 points, two ordered pairs, two x's and two y's. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to take the x values and we're going to subtract them. We're going to take the y values and subtract them. We're going to square each of those pieces. And then we're going to take the sum of those. And then one more step, last but not least, we're going to take the square root of that. That's going to allow us to find the distance between 2 points. That distance is always going to be positive, and it may or may not be a whole number here. So first example looks like this. The equation in standard form, it has a center of 2, 4, and it contains the point 8, 12. So if we were to think about that as a picture, I could kind of sketch that out. 2, 4 is up here. And then that's the center of it, and it contains the point 8, 12. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 4. 12 is going to be way up here. So let's just make each of these. So this is 2. Let's call this, these are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 2, 4, there's the center. And then what does it say? 8, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12 is up here. All right, so basically this is our radius here, from here to here. And because it's at an angle here, it's really hard for us to find that distance. And that's where the distance formula comes in. So if we have these coordinates, this coordinate is 2, 4, this one is 8, 12. What we can do is we can use this formula right here, and we can find the distance. The first thing is we're going to take the x values. I'll use a different color. Our x values, we're going to subtract them. It doesn't matter what order we do them in. 8 minus 2. I'm going to put some parentheses around that. I need to square that. And then I'm going to add an addition sign. Now I'm going to take the y values. This is a bit of review from algebra, but it's good to talk about it. Subtract those, square that, and then take the square root of that whole mess. So let's just do a little bit at a time. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36. 12 minus 4 is 8. 8 squared is 64. Add those together. What do we get? We get 100. Final step right here. Make sure we take the square root of that. The square root of that is 10. Now, we don't have to worry about plus or minus 10 because distance is just positive. We're just finding the distance here. That is what we call our radius. So that means this distance from here to here of this circle is 10. So now we have all the information we need. Remember standard form? So we'll do that off to the side here in blue. Standard form is x minus 2 plus y minus 4. Remember, 2 and 4 are our center, equals the radius squared. Done. Same thing we did yesterday. Make sure we find our center. Here's our center coordinates here, and we take our radius and we square it. So other types of problems you might be looking at, maybe you get an equation, maybe you don't. Maybe you get just a problem from a graph. Same idea here. One way to think about this is we have this point 3, 1, and then we have this other point 2, negative 1. And so if we're going to find this distance here, sometimes what I like to do is instead of thinking about this using the distance formula, I like to think about this as a triangle. If I was to draw this triangle right here, and I started putting some measurements here, and this measurement here would be 1. This measurement here is up 1, down 1, so this would be 2. And if I'm looking for this distance, this black part right here, that would be the hypotenuse, which is if I just use the Pythagorean theorem, here's another way to think about it, which says that a squared plus b squared, that's the legs, equals the hypotenuse squared. Let's call that x. So let's do a little arithmetic here. This is 1, this is 4. That gives me a sum of 5. Take the square root. This distance, or this radius, is the square root of 5. Now, how does that play into our circle equation? Check it out. X minus, let's do our center first. Our center is 3, positive 1. So x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals, now what happens when I square root of 5? I get the square root of 25, which is just 5. Done deal. One more little practice. Let's take another one of these bad boys. Okay, same idea. I got -1, 3. So what I'm going to do with this problem right here, instead of using my distance formula, I'm going to just make a triangle. Okay, and so this is -1 and this is -2. So this is +1. And then this other leg, it goes from 3 to 6. That means this is going to be 3 units. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to square these. 3 squared plus 1 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. That's what this is, this side right here. Okay, so this is 9 plus 1, which is 10. 10 is x squared. X is square root 10. When I do my equation here, you guys, x minus, careful now here, my center of this is -1, 3. So it's going to be x plus 1 squared. Y minus 3 squared equals square root of 10 squared is 10. Square and square root cancel each other out. Done deal. Same thing we're doing as we did yesterday, guys. The only difference is either draw a triangle to find your distance, or like we did in the first example, do the distance formula, this is just a shortcut for that. So once you find this radius squared, it goes here. Nothing changes with your center. Your center still goes here. Just make sure you do your opposite signs in these situations. So that's it. Till next time, friends, stay clean, wash your hands, disinfect your phones, and most importantly, be kind.